Yo, yo, what's going on, y'all?
Yes, we're live on day number 4
Ooh, Quattro! How's it going, y'all?
of Mastering the Art of the Know. Here we are, 4 days in.
Mastering the art of the no with the ever so beautiful, so talented, so gifted Jennifer Coronado. And you guys know, it's your guy, Elijah I. Salute, salute. Thank you guys all for taking your time. You know, we told you guys get 6 pure days of pure value content to help you close more deals, understand the value of changing the inside out, closing more deals, mastering the art of the no, right, Jenny?
Yes, so it's day 4. We have another very powerful focus point today that we're going to be sharing with you on how to master the art of the no. We're also going to be breaking down a deal that we closed, again, with multiple no's. In our goal is to really share with you guys the techniques we're implementing in our business that can help you to start closing deals quickly and consistently.
At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. I want you now, not only do I want you closing consistently, I want you closing more confidently and for bigger margins. And the more you're doing this, the more confidence you're going to create. And what happens is, yes, it's important to make more money. By all means, what up, Josh? What up, Robert? Yes, it's important to make more money, but what it does to your confidence, what it makes you feel to your character, how valuable you become to your family, to your community, a better you is a better all of us. And that's something I really realized, right, Jenny? And I think what's really important to understand, the more you take your craft as a serious skill set, it's not something just strategy I'm teaching you, or what Jenny's just mentioning. We're talking about really honoring your craft, meaning this is your version of being a basketball player, being an artist. This is your Picasso. The more you take pride and focus energy in developing your craft, like mastering an art of the no, find out new ways to become very strategically and qualified, I truly believe this is going to separate yourself. And this is something I seen myself when I started embodying these not these tips and strategies, but really treating my skill set as a craft that I can master. I started seeing my circle started changing, relationships started changing. I brought beautiful people into my world like she did, like her. I seen things were going to change for my life, and I want things to give for your life. So
yes, guys. So we have some really, like I said, powerful techniques. But again, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for spending the time. Make sure you stay with us all the way through the end, because we're going to be answering objections. We're going to be going over our deal breakdown. We're going to be going over the focus point that you guys can start implementing. If you're joining us again, make sure you shout out in the comment. We want to see you guys, want to see who's here. But yeah, we are going to be getting started right away.
Yeah.
Anything else that we forgot to mention?
Yeah. So just remember, make sure you guys do us a favor, share this, let people know that this valuable content and knowledge is here. And we want them to be as successful as each one of you guys are watching and locking in with us here. You ready to get into it?
Let's do this.
Well, before we get into it, you guys know, what do we need? What does your girl need? What's your guy Elijah I need? Hit me in the comments. Throw me some A's. Throw me an A. So toss me an AYE in there for your boy and girl, so that we're able to know you guys are ready to rock. You guys ready to put these in motion. We talked to last week. Well, not last week, yesterday. We started having people sharing the revenue number. I'm really glad. I'm really proud of some of you guys who share that number, because now you're able to go back. What do you mean by
revenue?
Well, because we had what they expect. We had them everybody write down what type of goals. Thank you, Glenn. What type of revenue goal are you looking for in 1 year? What are you looking for? Thank you, Robert. And being able to see people want to make 1.6 million, 10 million, 10 deals consistently every month. I'm just so glad to see people trust and believe in their skill set. And that alone is going to pay dividends. And I feel like we're going to help these people get further along on their journey. And I gain tremendous pride in helping others go further along on their journey. So let's continue the path. Thank you guys for throwing us our A's. So let's get into this. Master the Art of the No, day 4, Quattro. Let's get into this, Jenny.
So today we're going to cover focus point number 4, which is empathize. This is a huge one for us, because we have to understand, guys, real estate investors specifically those in wholesale real estate are dealing with not just motivated sellers, but they're motivated for a reason, right? Many times they're going through financial struggles, whether it's foreclosure, facing foreclosure, they're going through probate, they're going through, different types, they're getting different types of city violations. Sometimes they're tenants who want to, or they have the owners who have tenants who want to get rid of these headache properties. So empathizing is it's a skill that we have to develop when it comes to the phone, when it comes to approaching these sellers. So today this tip is really going to help you guys, number one, to self-assess how are you currently empathizing, and number two, to start implementing these strategies that can be more effective in your sales calls.
Yeah.
So without further ado, Elijah, do you want to break down?
Before I break that down, I just want to give some context to it, right? Because Jennifer helps remind me to make sure I'm giving context. What up, King Jaime? And so what happens is this, okay? Is that we're talking. Turn off your phones, guys. Right? I don't want them ringing while we're learning together, right? Talk to myself. So when you are starting out, and I remember I've been in your shoes, guys. So everything I'm telling you, I've been there. And you're doubting yourself, right? We talked about yesterday, we know about all the words you should hear when you hit a third no. And we already talked about reframing the question. And we talked about absorb, recognize, continue, right? But what happens is this. You start losing confidence because you do not usually know what to say. What am I going to say to these people? I don't know what I'm going to say. And then even worse, I've been there. I started thinking like, man, there's no way they're going to take this low ball offer. There's no way they're going to take 50% off, or how is this going to work? This part right here is going to allow you to really quelch down those fears, because you are doing something that most people don't do. You're listening. God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth. By you empathizing, that means you have to take time to hear what they're saying so that you could empathize. You could step in their shoes. If they're doing the talking, you're controlling where we're walking. And once we get to that end journey, we can discuss. I can empathize and let you know that I understand why you chose this path. I understand why you walk this way. And therefore, that internal fear, what I want to say next, you don't have to worry about what you're going to say next, because you're listening and they're going to tell you where this conversation needs to go. So now that I laid out that context, let's dive into it. All right. So empathize, step into their shoes, right? Step into their shoes. People do not care what you know
until they know how much you care.
And this is where it hits home. All right. So they're going to know if you're just pseudo listening, if you, yeah. They're going to feel that. All right. But when you're there, and you're using the only person in the universe technique, where you're taking notes, you're like, tell me what happened next. Wow, you're leaning in, you're a little inquisitive, you're asking quick questions. What happens is you're going to allow people to really see that they are having an impact on you. Think about it like this. How many of you guys, hold on a second. I'm losing. If this makes sense, let me get a 1. Just type in 1. Type in the number 1. If this makes sense, is this first point hitting home for you guys? Let me get a 1. Type in 1 in the comment section. I just want to make sure I'm not losing you guys. And like, what is he talking to you? He's walking with them, and now he's listening to him in his own universe. Type in 1. I just want to make sure I ain't losing anybody so far. So if this is making sense, type in the number 1 for me real quickly, and I'm going to keep going. I just want to make sure I ain't lose anybody over here. All right? Hit me with that one piece. Okay. So what ends up happening is this, all right, is as you're listening to them and you're allowing them know that you're intently listening. Think about it like this. When you're at dinner, thank you, Josh, thank you, Jaime. When you're at dinner, what happens is that very few people even listen to each other at dinner now, right? Yeah, dinner, people with social media is becoming less and less personal. Everybody is distracted. Everybody is doing 2, 3, 4 different things. No one's really being present.
Right. Yeah, that's a huge point there, because think about, even you're dealing with the financial issue. People aren't listening to you to begin with, let alone sharing with you what's really going on financially. So now you're talking to them about their property. How are you going to make the difference?
Right. So because you are the only person that matters in a universe technique, you listen intently, you listen closely, you have your pen and paper out there, you're jotting notes. Hold on a second. Can you say that one more time again? By you're doing this, by you are listening to them, you're being an example. So like if Jennifer's telling me how her day is, really tell me what happened, Jennifer? What? So you went and got your eyelashes done today. And what did she say? No way. Tell me more. And now as I'm listening to her and she feels like another human being is intently locked in, you have the need to share more. They're going to start sharing more. Now, as they're sharing more, you are now going to be able to dissect what they're telling you. That's the problem is. What makes this unique technique so powerful is because Uncle Dave said, if you listen long enough, people are going to tell you what the problem is. If you listen a little longer, they're going to tell you how to solve their problem. So that's why this part of empathizing, listen to them, is going to allow you to close more deals. So, for example, we like to use the feel, felt, found technique. Feel, felt, found technique. This would be tremendously powerful. When you use the feel, felt, found technique, it allows them to see that you have been where they walked through. You have dealt with a situation like this, and not only have you dealt with this, you help people come out of that terrible situation. So now you are shifting yourself as just a investor with cash to becoming that trusted advisor. You want to use this feel, felt, found when you're talking with them. As you're starting to identify the pain, isolate the pain, because a lot of people are going to build a rapport, right? But this is that transition part where I see a lot of people struggle. You got a couple of no's. No, I'm not really interested in selling. No, I was just thinking about just hearing an offer. Okay, what's your cash offer? Oh, no, I wouldn't accept that. So now you're on your fourth no here. I mean, 60% of the game is out. The reason why you're going to be able to stay in and make more money and close more deals because you have more strategies and techniques to implement than they have objection excuses to give you. So let's get back to it. So the feel, felt, found. So, Mrs. Smith, you don't want to sell. You would never take the offer. And I know exactly how you feel. You know what? I had a client. They felt the same way. I just don't want to give my property away. But what they found was by selling the property to me, not only did they have less headaches, less hassle, and they removed all the uncertainty, that peace of mind was worth every penny and more. That's what you're looking for too, right? Peace of mind. If I heard you correct, when you told me about your daughter who would come in and out of the house and you didn't know if she's going to turn up dead somewhere, well, guess what? I understand how you feel. And you know what? I had a client who felt the same way with her daughter. What they found is when you make a decision, you make yourself right, everybody around you gets right. So let's go ahead and do the right thing and let's get this property sold and let's get you on to the next chapter of your life. So your daughter has to make a decision. Is she going to come into the next chapter with you or she got to figure out her own chapter? These are some techniques I want you guys.
All right, so go back because I feel like, we're sharing all this health technique. I think you did a great job at sharing that. And, we have, you guys are joining us. Thank you to those who are just joining us. We're breaking down the focus point number 4 of mastering the art of the no. But I feel like, there's still so much. We have to address the elephant in the room. Okay, the elephant in the room is that, you guys, especially if you're just getting started or you're not closing deals consistently, there's a whole marketplace. Our industry is just filled with people who are sharing strategies with you and not necessarily breaking down the skill side of it. Okay, because building a skill takes practice, it takes effort, it takes practicing. Discipline. And we're sharing this one technique. How many times have you used this technique to actually close a deal?
Hundreds. Not
hundreds. And hundreds. So this is the free stuff. This right here. Where is it? I know. Right here. This is the free stuff, guys, that will generate the income, will get you those deals closed because these are the proven techniques. We're not talking about these. We didn't just come up with them. We're going to break down a deal right now where we had to use these techniques to get this deal closed. So before we go over it, we want you guys to also break down some of the objections that you guys have when you're dealing with these motivated sellers and they're going through a tough time and you're having a hard time empathizing with them. Make sure you post them in the comment box, because we want to help you unglue you from those objections. We don't want you to have any reason after we have 2 more days, but we want to address all the objections so that you get closer to overcoming that no and closing deals more consistently. So anything else you want to share on the field found before we go over the deal?
Sure. And so what happens is this, when you run out of material, because you run out of material because you're still treating it as a job. All right. You have to send playing basketball. Michael Jordan wasn't a job. He got paid for it. It was a skill set he found that he became gifted at it. He wasn't naturally gifted at it because he got cut from his high school basketball team, right? If he was naturally gifted, he'd be dunking right from high school. There's no way he got cut from high school. He developed his skill set. Every time you guys watch and role play and come up with strategies and techniques, this is going to be the difference of you working on your skill set or just rehearsing strategy, right? So I want you guys to understand this part right here. If you take this very seriously, and you start writing out, I want to say at least 10 different feel, felt, founds. I give you guys 2 right off the top of my head. Feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel, Mrs. Client. I had a client who felt exactly this way, XYZ. And what they found was they were going to benefit and get to XYZ benefits by entrusting in me, engaging in me, allowing me to be your trusted advisor. So I want you to come up with multiple ways to use feel, felt, found. You should write out at least 10 different ways. So if you have a divorce seller, if you have an absentee owner, if you have a probate deal, if you have a fire damage deal, if you have a multiple errors deal, you should have multiple ways of saying, Mrs. Smith, I know how you feel. My client, Mrs. Jamie, she felt the exact same way when you're dealing with this XYZ. She dealt with it. And what she found, and that is going to be powerful to do. It will turn into revenue for you. You will close more deals. You won't feel as lost because now you have go-to confident, go-to material based off what they say. And when you do this part, when you say, I understand you feel, that allows you to connect with somebody. That means you understand, you care how I feel. You know what's going on in my life. And by you empathizing with that way, and you let them know you felt, someone who felt that way, that shows, that exudes your experience, that you are becoming an expert. You will transition from just being an average RVM.
But what does that even mean? Like, because I feel like a lot of people aren't in touch with the day-to-day calls. I mean, Elijah's been in the business for over 16 years, right? He's had all these calls, so he understands the power of connection. But I don't think that we've broken that down enough, because most people that get into real estate, what we've seen, many of them are in it, right, because of the fact that you can buy low, you can sell low, the numbers work. So it's very numbers oriented. There's a lot of males in this industry. And this was one of the reasons why I encourage women to get into it, because women actually outproduce men, in many sales, sales organizations, because of their ability to empathize with the seller versus a male who's just, coming into it aggressively to starting off. So what we want you to do is just to have both a good balance of both knowing your stuff and being able to break that down, but also being able to connect with your seller and empathize with them. And we're not just telling you, hey, sit there all day long crying about what's going on. We're asking you to, really break down in a strategy where you're just acknowledging how they feel, and you're giving them that empathy by letting them know that you know of someone who felt the same way.
I mean, think about yourself, right? You're in elementary school. You're not sure who's really friends. You're still trying to figure out your friend. Elementary time, figure out yourself. You're during recess time, right? Well, the kids who are on a basketball court or who are playing kickball, hey, those are cool kids. Now you are connected with someone who's on your level, who's interested in your things. when you get on this phone and you're talking to clients, you have to understand, although we're doing real estate, although we're trying to make hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on a call, this is a people business. You have to understand, you have to connect with the people. And understand that if you're able to connect with them and they feel your sincerity, I'm willing to take less from you than more from this hedge fund who don't give two craps about me, who doesn't know where I'm coming from, who doesn't understand my plight, who's never been there. All they are is just a check. And don't get me wrong, there's a place for those people. However, if you think you're going to compete with those hedge funds, the reason I've been able to stay in the game for 16 years and have longevity and never filed bankruptcy, never been sued, the reason why I've been able to do these things is because I take tremendous pride in connecting with my client, building relationships. This is a people business. People do business with people that they connect with. This is a technique. This focus point number 4. This is a technique that's translated into hundreds of deals for me to close.
And if you're just watching this and you want more information, you can get the ebook. We should have the link in the comment box here. But if not, you can get it also at Elijah, texting Elijah to 59224. You can get your copy of the ebook. So we can move. We're going to be going over focus point number 5 tomorrow. What you guys can do is actually read the ebook, look at ways that you can implement this.
Or listen to the audiobook.
You guys can listen to the audio, and the goal is that you implement, because it's a very simple technique. And there's a reason why we wanted to break this out over 6 days, because we want to show you guys, not overload you with information, because you don't need information. You have Google, you have YouTube, right? Any part of the deal process, you can figure out by yourself. So this is why we haven't done any training for anybody who's getting started in the business in both of our businesses.
Right.
We haven't helped people who are just getting started, because we believe that it's not that difficult. Obviously, the hardest part is mastering the art of the no, is doing the work, staying consistent, applying simple techniques, and showing up every single day. So we're going to go into the deal.
So before we go into the deal, put in the comments, what do you guys think is the hardest part of this business? A lot of this is real estate. I want to see, is it just closing deals? Is it talking to sellers? Is it people getting offers? Is it the leads it's hard to find good leads? There's too much competition. I want to know. Put in the comment section, what do you feel is the hardest part in doing more deals in this market, whatever market you're in? Put in the comment section. I want to see what you guys think. What is the hardest part?
That's powerful. And again, this serves for your personal awareness. Absolutely. And also looking at what is holding everyone else back, because the hardest part also can be feeling like you're alone. I got it.
All right. So, and realizing that you're not, that we're all struggle with similar things. We're all having to deal with this COVID-19. This is throwing everybody. I don't care if you're a multi-millionaire, billionaire, or if you're a broke person on the street. We're all having to be affected by this. So what is the hardest part you're seeing in closing more deals? I want to see what you guys think. So what's there. I want to kind of just see kind of where you guys are at. So consistently closing, consistently cold calling. I see you. I understand how hard that could be sometimes. And when you don't have the material, you're not sure if this is going to work. You have the disbelief, hey, this person might not take the offer. I understand how that could feel. So understand you're not alone. I've been there. I struggled before. Even sometimes like, man, I got to get on the phones and I have to do my affirmation. I go confidence transfer. I look at my vision board. I do a light meditation. I'm on it. But it didn't happen overnight. Like Jennifer said, it's not a matter of information. We're in an informational age. There's 15 ebooks and 38 YouTube videos on every topic out there. The biggest issue is implementation. There's a lot of knowledgeable bums out there on the street panhandling, tremendous ideas, know it all, but they couldn't implement any of it. If you do not get paid for your conversations or your knowledge, you get paid for executing on that knowledge, right? Hard finding good leads. I understand what this has been. I know you've been. I've seen it. I know how frustrating it can be trying to find good leads. That's part of the reason why we started the fire damage niche, because we got tired of going after everything that everybody else was going after, and we want to segue ourselves. But what I really realized, fast forwarding, it's not only about the leads, which is important, but the equalizers to not having the best leads is having a better skill set, ability to close, a better closing habits, meaning that you got the good habits of doing the role playing, writing on the journal, find out what did I do, what I learned from that call, what I didn't learn from that call, what can I do to improve, and then gain those reps in. Are you doing that? That helps separate some of your skill sets. But that's powerful. Getting the numbers right and anchoring the price. What do you think, Jenny?
I mean, I think getting the numbers right and anchoring the price, I feel like it's more of value, right? So many times the numbers, I mean,
that's it. You get it.
It's really just value, because if you're talking to a seller and they are really they're looking forward to selling and they're looking forward to doing it with you, then the number is just that. It's a number that you both just need to agree on. And so when they feel the value you're bringing by paying cash, by doing it quickly, by you being a trusted advisor, they're going to be willing to take a haircut on those numbers. And, you know, anchoring the price is, again, part of this whole mastering the art of the no. It's really, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely a sales process of qualifying, identifying the pain and then providing the number. However, so much of it is you getting outside of the voice in your head that's telling you that they're not going to want that price.
Accept it. They can hear the crack in your voice, the weird pauses.
Because if you ever hear, like, I mean, number one, definitely look in, watch some of Elijah's old calls. He did over 100 live calls on Facebook. So you're on the Facebook page right now on Elijah Rubin. All you have to do is go to videos and scroll down, and you'll see 100 live calls. So when you hear a confident person anchoring the price, they're not stumbling. They're very confident in it, and that's what helps them. It's not so much that they have the right number, is that they're confident in delivering that number.
And so I think what's really important too, just a last little piece on that, is that, remember, it is the value you could provide, as Jenny first said, right? Yes, you want to get the numbers right. You want to be ballpark. You want to offer ranges, gauge where they're coming from. There's some techniques we could provide you, like, what do you think the taxes are? Do you think the taxes, are you current on your taxes? Yeah, well, your taxes look like it's about $150,000. Is that what you think you want for the house? No, I don't want that. Of course, I'm not going to offer you that. That's what the taxes sets out. And you and I both know the tax value is always lower than the market value, right? So what do you think the property's market value is? So by you doing that, you're anchoring out there. You're using the tax value as the bad man that we both know. Those bad tax people, they don't know the real number. But now I'm able to isolate where is he at on his price point. But once you do that, that's when most people stop. We stop there. All right, I got your price. All right, now let me go for the close. No, add another layer of value over it. So, I mean, do you have somebody to help get everything boxed up and moved out? Can I refer you one of my day laborers to get everything boxed up for you? I just want to add value. I don't want to do anything to jeopardize my testimonial value.
It's not always the number.
It's quality of life.
Glenn, we're about to break down a deal right now that's going to show you exactly why the numbers, it's not so much of a numbers thing, because we had to go back and renegotiate the numbers. So once we had identified that there was, an issue that was happening where the seller was losing money, we realized we could provide value. And then at that point, it wasn't so much about the numbers. We were able to talk to them about what the numbers needed to be at for it to be a deal. And so I want you to just wait, because we're about to break down those details. Okay, so stay tuned with us. We got Crystal. Oh, my dear Crystal. This woman is amazing. She's working with, a young child. Yeah. And so I get it. We've had this conversation before, but work-life balance is something a lot of people struggle with. I know I have, and we still many times do, especially with having our kiddo at home and learning how to homeschool and doing all that. And that's definitely something that you're going to be troubleshooting. But again, so much of it you can still be held back from operating and still showing up 100% on the hours you are showing up if you don't feel prepared. And like a lot of the times, we don't show up like we can because we don't have that kind of skill set, that confidence, right? So we want to bring this kind of confidence where you don't need a lot of time to close a deal. you don't need a lot of time to get on the phones and to actually get something done. So that confidence, that skill set is also going to be helpful in that area. And Jaime said it best. Confidence is key, even if you're wrong. Yes, you're right, Jaime. Confidence is everything because you are the expert. People want to work with experts. They want to work with someone who knows what they're doing. And it's okay if you have a mistake, but how you own up to it and, whether you're willing to, deal with that situation is what's going to matter. As long as you feel confidence, and you bring that A game, that's what matters in every deal, time and time again. Yes, Glenn's going to be binge watching these videos.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's commitment. So, guys, we don't want to hold you guys back any longer. Let's get started on the deal breakdown.
Yeah, so before we get into that real quick.
Are you guys ready for that?
Yes. If you guys are ready to see a deal breakdown, we're going to show you how we made $18,000 on one deal and we sold it in under 7 days. A fire damage deal in the middle of a pandemic. Unemployment 35 million, and we're going to break this down for you, utilizing these techniques. We're telling you these focus points.
They sound simple because they are. However, it's all about the implementation piece of it. So we're going to break down what it took. How many no's do you guys think? Actually, put it on the comment box. How many no's do you think that Elijah specifically had to take on this one deal?
How many no's? Throw it in the
comment section. Put it on the comment box. If you watched the last one, there was 8. So we went through every single no. How many no's on this one deal? It was only 7 days. So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment box. And let's get started.
Let's get into it. All right. So nice.
Wow. Dang.
Got you.
You've been taking those notes.
All right. So
1,000 no's. Yes, over time.
Over the course of 16 years, for sure. Easy took 1,000. Distance 7.
7 no's.
Nice. All right, 12. I got you.
All right, guys,
so let's get into
it. Yeah.
All right, so let's show the picture of the lot first.
I'll show you.
Let's start with that one. And then
Okay.
you can get the HUD together. Right. I did this.
So this is the lot. It's beautiful.
Right. So this is so as I break this down, I just pull the HUDs for it. In an email. Yeah, I sent them. All right. So let's dive into this here. Okay. So this is a referral that came from me. A lady and I used to do business probably about 5 years ago. She works at the Dog Humane Society. One of her friends works there, and she just mentioned that her and her friend, her and her sister, father's house caught on fire. That's BC. Caught on fire. The AB one. So what ended up happening was this. She didn't know what to do because there's a fire damage property, and they know that they may want to sell it. The two sisters inherited the property. She called me like, Elijah, you're the only person I know in town that does fire damage properties. So once again, we specialize in the fire damage niche because nobody else knows how to do these deals. So we talked. So I'm like, yeah, let me get the sisters' information. Let me talk with them. Let me see what I could do to help buy the property. So I talked with the sisters, and it's a C2 zone lot. You see, it's about 8,000 square feet. C2, so it's commercial zoned. And so the seller, so they wanted us. We bought it for it. And so they wanted, they're like, Elijah is worth 130, 150,000. When there's a house there, there's no house there. They said, well, I'll take, we want $80,000. I'm like, I'm sorry, $80,000, that number won't work. I see that there's a city violation notice on there. Are you guys willing to take any less? No. All right. So that's no, number one. No, I'm not willing to take any less. I'm not willing to work on that. I'm not right now. And so what ends up happening is that we was able to come into, we started focusing on we said the part two. The part 2 no is I threw out a number. I'm like, would you guys be willing to do something creative so that you guys could get some cash and get you out from underneath this property's fire damage? Is that something you're open for? No, I only want cash. We want our $80,000. I'm like, okay, cool. This is about a year ago. This is about a year ago. All right. So I wanted $80,000. Took one no. I offered the seller finance route. They said no part two. I said okay, because remember, you can never be too needy on these deals. There's always more deals. I told him, hey, I'll follow up with you if things change. So reach out to me. So it's probably about 7 months ago. Reached out to him. I looked up to see the property, see if it's sold. I said, hey, are you willing to sell? One sister said, no, we're not selling. We're keeping it. The third no on my follow-up. So I sent the text message to the other sister, probably about a week later. She's like, yeah, we are open to selling it. Yeah, we would like to say, because there's people sleeping on there, there's trash on there, vagrants on there, and we don't want to have to keep cleaning it up. We don't have to keep paying taxes on it. And so so what ended up happening, I told them that's not going to be possible. That's not going to be possible. We're not letting that happen, right? So I told her, hey, let's meet. Let's talk about a number, and let's see if we could end up buying the property. We know we're going to election year. Let's see how it's going to look. So we went back and forth, and we talked about it. And we ended up agreeing for me buying this property for $40,000, 50% less than what they were asking for about 6-7 months ago. So everything was fine. I was doing my numbers, running the numbers, trying marketing it. Now, right when I opened escrow, what happened? COVID-19 popped off. And so I'm like, wow, like the market's dropping, sellers are getting scared, lenders are getting scared. So I gave the sisters a call. I looked at the lot. I'm like, listen, ladies, I want to buy the property. No one's going to buy the property as serious as I'm going to do. However, I did a survey of the lot. The survey, as you're going to see, is going into the canal. Part of it was going into the canal. And I let them know, like, hey, this lot that you think is 12,000, it's really only 8,000 square feet. So although you're valuing it at 100 or something, 30,000, that's not going to be the case. When somebody actually does a survey, which I paid, I have a survey, just look at it, just give me an email. I just need an email to verbally give me the ballpark numbers. I showed them, I said, hey, your lot's only this size. We're going to have to do a reduction in price because you didn't know this. If you had known this, you would have told me about it. And then I would have negotiated a different number. Because you didn't know about it, we had to discuss a separate number. Mm-hmm. Well, for the sister, she saw the survey. No, I'm not taking any less. 40,000 is ridiculous. We could just cancel the deal right now. So she told me, right? And I told him, felt foul. Miss Lemon, let's use her name, Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith, I understand how you feel. You don't want to take a penny less. That's what your parents gave you. It's what you have in place. All right. And I had a client who felt the exact same way because I've been doing this since 2008. And so what ends up happening is this. I told them what they found was if they didn't wait until the market collapsed, they will make out more cash now than waiting and trying to figure this out down the road. It's in your best interest to get the cash locked in now. And so the other sister said, all right, what did you have in mind? Let's talk. All right. So now I overcame my fourth no. I told him, I know I have 40,000. I'm going to need it for $23,400. Same sister said, hell no. She said, not no, but hell no. All right. I let them know. And so I talked to the other sisters, being a little bit more reasonable. I'm like, listen, there's back taxes, there's city violations. I just got the survey to find out that the lot's really not as big as what you initially thought. And there might be an easement issue driving accessing the lot. And so whoever buys this property, if I'm willing to walk away, I never bought a property from somebody who did not want to sell the property to me. I'm not going to force you to sell the property to me. I'm willing to walk away. But as I'm walking away, you see COVID-19 is happening. As the market drops, by the time the market drops, somebody sees that the lot's not the same size, and somebody's very aware that there's an easement issue. You're going to be at this number, or if not less, 5 to 6 months from now. And I'll buy your house. Like I told you a year ago, I'll buy it. I'm here to buy it. I'll buy it, but there'll be a penalty for procrastinating. I'll probably be about $15,000. Right? When I said that, she's like, give me 1 second. She muted the phone, and her sister was going back at it. She was going back at it. And she's like, yes, we're going to sell it because I'm the one who's cleaning up the lot. I'm the one who's handling the taxes. She doesn't do anything with the property. Elijah, would take you $23,400. When can we get it done? I said, perfect. Set off on this little addendum real quickly for me. Sent the addendum over there. And then, so ended up happening.
How much was that produced?
So we got for $23,400. Then,
what was the initial?
So initially I was at $40,000. All right. So we just had a $17,000 price drop. All right. So now we had a $17,000 price drop. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there for $40,000. Put out there for $40,000. I started getting some interest. Some buyers started reaching out because it's C2 zone lot. A lot of people are interested in the property. Had a guy give me a call like, all right, Elijah, I think I really like it. Let me talk to my, I want you to talk to my realtor. Realtors get a little difficult. I sent it out to some tree removal companies, right? And those are good buyers for the fire damage niche, by the way. Tree removal companies, they're used to dealing with some of the owners have to remove debris and trees from fire damage properties. So they're a good source of possible buyers.
I would consider that a no, the fact that we didn't really get any buyers on it.
Yeah,
the numbers were there.
The numbers were there, but COVID was here too. So I got 0 no's. I could have dropped the price.
Someone put 6 no COVID buyers.
The COVID buyers, I was getting crickets. All right. So I could have been like,
we could have just gave up.
Okay, gave up, or I could have dropped the price or cancel the contract. But I'm like, you know what? Let's go and pull some tree removal companies up. And I sent out to some tree removal companies. Boom, I got one guy said, Elijah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I want to buy the property. When can I meet with you to buy the property? And so what ended up happening, I did have somebody send me a contract for $40,000. I did not sign it. So I told him, hey, I got a contract for $40,000. I mean, if you could do $42,500, you know what? I'll sell it to you today. He's like, Elijah, meet me right now. Come meet me right now. I got $2,500. Meet me in 30 minutes at the property. I got $2,500. I'll give you cash. I'll pay $40,000 at the escrow. So he gave me $2,500 out of the escrow in an envelope, which I don't really recommend you doing. You go through escrow for everything. But he gave me $2,500 right there because that's how bad he wanted the deal, because he knew I was tremendously underselling it. And then we closed the escrow about a week later. The same gentleman signed contracts, closed escrow. Not only did I get it, so I sold it to him for technically for $42,500, but he also agreed to cut my palm tree I needed at my house, and I got a dinner credit out of it for me selling it for so low, right? For selling for so low.
Oh, that's what you did your palm tree?
Yeah. So let's talk. So let's look at the HUDs. Got HUDs? Let's show HUDs. All right. So we got it for $23,400. I put $100 in earnest deposit, as you see there. Okay. And then we turned around, we sold it. Let's we'll show you the BC side of it here. But what ended up happening, like I said, it took a little, so as I'm talking with the sister, I'm getting my testimonial letter from the sister. And what ended up happening, she's like, make sure you get, so you can see this year. So what ended up happening was that she said, my Theo next door, he might be open to selling the property too. My Theo next door, he might be open to selling the property as well. And so I'll give you this, once you close escrow on my deal, I'll give you the number for him next door. So after I closed escrow, like I said, get my testimonial letter, I talked with them. I talked with she gave me the phone number for him. And I was able to talk with them. They want to hold off until the first of the year because they sold some other properties. But now I'm the first in line to buy the next door property. The same buyers, like if you get that, I'm 100% buying that one because I want both of the lots. It makes sense. I can have both of them right here. So from that one relationship, from overcoming that one no, instead of letting it hold me back, I was able to put myself in a position to be able not only to pick up this property, not only get my own palm trees cut, but I was able to pick up a possible property in the future using the fail, found. And let's look at the net profits we made here. Let's look at the net profits we made. Oh, that's the AB. So we got it for $23,400 from the sisters. Okay, and then we turned around. You blow that up a little bit. Okay, so if you squint and you guys drink some good carrot juice. I see. Okay, so I just wanted you to see out there that we bought it. We closed the sale in April. It just was in April when we closed the deal. So we just want to make sure you guys are able to identify. Like, this wasn't like 5 years ago and the market was great. This is right in the COVID is popping off actively. And we want you just to be able to see what happens when you put yourself in a position to be able to do more. And so what happens is that when you get more comfortable with these deals and you know what's possible and you master your craft, this can happen for you guys too. And so I want to show you guys just some of the net numbers on this one deal. Like I said, we didn't go out there and we didn't list it. So we made $39,000, $39,900. We sold it to him for. Plus, remember, I got the $2,500 out of escrow. So listen, to give you guys the exact numbers down to the T, down to the T. You know, I like to get, that half Jewish side. I like to be accurate with every penny, right? So if you take 42,500. Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, we did a double close, but in my double closes, and I'm gonna show you on my HUD, and this is a good little pro tip for you guys. I make my end buyer pay all the closing costs. So we did 19,100 actually. 19,100 was a little bit more profit than I thought. All right, a little bit more profit than I don't mind skewing low. I just don't want to skew too high, right? So go back to the HUD. So 19,100. Go back to the HUD for me. That one. Okay, so so right here, I'm going to show you guys a little pro tip, and this is for the family here. This is for the family. For you 21 plus million people who are going to see this over the course of time, I want to make sure I give you guys a little secret sauce here, all right? So the way I make my end buyers pay not only the closing costs on my leg, but on the first leg, my first acquisition, when I'm buying it from the seller, I make them pay all the closing costs on that side as well. Yeah, you can pull that up first. All right, so you see on this side, I have closing costs. You see the 696, you see the 657, the 125, the 125. That's all my closing costs that I technically should be paying. Well, when I tell my buyers, like, buyer, for you to buy at this discounted price, what you're going to have to do, you have to pay all the closing costs and all the escrow fees, and go ahead to the other one, and the initial acquisition fee. Initial acquisition fee is something my title lady put me onto about 8 years ago. And if you write that into your contract and they agree to sign it, that indicates to them and the title company that there is initial acquisition, and those fees for your initial acquisition need to be paid by your current buyer. So if you look at that 1643 number, that is the initial acquisition fee I got recouped that from my first leg. So he ended up having to pay all the closing costs, his 696, his 100, his 125, plus the initial acquisition fee on the first leg. He had to pay all those closing costs as part of the deal. So I walked away with a net number without having to pay my closing costs on the front side. And at first he said, no, Elijah, what's this initial acquisition fee? Mr. Buyer, I understand how you feel. And I felt the same way when I had to buy this before. Well, what I found was I'm still making a tremendous profit regardless if I have to pay a little bit more closing costs versus trying to find something with the realtor, find something somewhere else out. So that's the way I was able to tell him what the found, empathize with them. I know where you're coming from. And if you don't want it, leave it. This might not be the right one for you. And being able to walk away from. So that's super powerful.
That's it, guys. That's our deal that, we were able to have, I think we counted 5 no's. So again, guys, we just want to break down the fact that, listen, part of getting your first deal is having marketing, having systems, implementing strategies. However, you're going to have hurdles. You're going to have situations where you just need to overcome these obstacles that are going to come in your way. You want to be more creative. You want to be a problem solver, a solution engineer. And this simple technique can be used throughout the acquisition process, throughout, renegotiations, throughout dispo.
For dinner, for going to the movies, for having kids take a shower.
It's all about not allowing that first no, just almost like you want to approach it. When there's issues, we have a few deals in the pipeline right now that we're dealing with issues on. So it's just a matter of understanding that this is a part of the process. And as long as you're staying consistent with your calls, with your KPIs, you're working on your business, you're working in your business, then these deals are just going to happen, especially when you understand that you're not just going to get one no, but multiple no's. So if you count the no's, each one of them is getting you closer to your next check.
So let's break down how much does each no earn me? Because we're calling these $1,000 no's. I mean, if you're making
you gotta go for those $1,000 no's.
Those $1,000 no's are so crucial. So let's see. So for me to make 19,100 divided by 5 no's, that's 38.20. We made $3,820 per no. And think about it, these are those $1,000 no. I mean, those $1,000 no's. Think about it. Every time you hear the word no, don't run from it. Embrace it. 38.20 per no we made on this deal. I took 5 no's from the buyers, from the sellers, from the deals. It's 38.20. All right, it's about 38.20 per no. So start looking at it like that. And look at this. It came from a referral. Right? A year and a half ago.
No marketing.
Fortune in the follow-up. Right? No marketing dispo, no marketing on acquisition, no million RVMs out, no 3 billion skip traces going out.
We didn't go anywhere. We were quarantined up.
So yeah, keep a KPI on those no's.
So if you guys are getting some value, let us know in the comment box. Let us know if you're getting value from this deal breakdown. From understanding that these no's are getting you there. It's not.
Throw some fire emojis. If you guys got that's some fire for you guys. Throw your boy and girl some fire emojis. And one thing, I know you asked a question, Retta. Did a sister ever find out if you made 18,000? That's a good question, especially starting out. You get a little scared, like, oh crap, what did they find out that I made this money? No. The profit monster. So that's why I'm really big about it. Tell them I want my testimonial letter. Once you get the money, 30 days after you receive your cash, I want my testimonial letter, because if they ever decide to go back and look it up, I didn't do anything dishonest. I did exactly what I promised to do. It's absolutely by American standard, buy low, sell low. If they were to have an issue, I have a letter saying that they're so pleased with the results I provided, that they are so pleased that I delivered for everything, that they'll go ahead and refer me to other people for the future. And so even if they were to have an issue, I have a letter saying that they're pleased that I delivered with what I said I was going to do. And if they want to count my money, so be it. But I'm telling you about.
And that's another thing about confidence. It's really bad, because those are the thoughts that come up with anytime someone gets into this business. I mean, I would say most of the time, right? That they feel like you making that money. I mean, we spend a lot of time, as you guys can see, there's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of follow-up. It's really hard to be consistent. It's hard to find a deal where you can actually create a win-win. And so when you do create a win-win, you have to be very confident with the fact of the value you're providing, and that there's not a lot of people out there willing to do the work. And so when you think about whether the seller find out what you made, it's almost like thinking like with Walmart, we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what they made for every little thing we bought.
When you bought your Lexus made a profit. When you bought your Honda made a profit. That's capitalism, right?
Everybody's making. This is how we make it happen. This is how we sustain our bills. This is how we can sustain the marketing, the operational costs. But when you look at it that way, it definitely is a win-win. And remember, you want to be confident that you're delivering the result to the seller. As long as you're doing that, then the seller should have no issue with what you're making.
And remember, I told them no a year ago. I told them they're going to be holding this property. And guess what? When I called back, they were holding the property. And then 6 months later, they decided to sell the property. And when I had to price drop it, they're like, listen, I do not want to deal with the cleanup. I do not want to deal with paying the taxes. If I see another bum on my lot again, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I solved the problem. I'm very confident. I'm very okay with me being overpaid.
This is causing family issues. This was causing a lot of that. So again, that's the more you're in the business, the more that you realize that sellers were gonna not do anything with this property anyways, right? And we always also give them you could list it, but who's gonna buy a fire damaged property
in the middle of COVID?
In the middle, right? They don't have the skill sets that we have to be able to market and get that property sold.
And remind yourself, like I said, you're adding value. You're a doctor. You're a solution engineer. You need to be paid for yourself. And I'm telling you, out of 750 deals, maybe three times as an investor took time, homeowner went back, looked up the comps. They don't know run comps most of the time, see what it's sold for. By the time they sell that property, they don't ever want to think about that property again. It's sold, they're gone, they're on to the next chapter.
Got their money.
And I get tremendous amount of referrals because, like we talked about up front, getting back, being at home, I empathize with them to begin with. I connected with them. They wanted me to make as much as I can. They did not care what happened, what I sold the property for. Because I empathized with them, I connected with them. I walked in their shoes. I let them know I know where you're coming from, and I not only do I think I can solve this, I now can help you survive this. I can help and show you thrive well after this.
So we have a few minutes before we didn't get to any objections. If you guys got value from the deal breakdown, I hope you did. If you guys have any more questions on that, feel free to drop your questions in the comment box.
We'll take a couple.
And also, guys, what are your objections? Again, we hear it time and time again. I'm having a hard time, overcoming objections. I'm having a hard time not knowing what to say. Now that you're here, this is your time to get some of these objections that you're coming across. If you haven't joined us in the past, we're going to, when you are on the call, what is holding you back? What are some of the things that you're not sure what to say on? So we can help you with some of those answers right away. And again, so do you want to break down?
So a couple things I want to be able to share with you guys. Yeah, and like Jaime said, from the closing Olympics,
I want to put that
this is a technique. Listen, watch my guy Jaime. He's going to be a multi-millionaire because he honors his craft. He does not treat this like a job. He actually fired his job, and he sold his countertop company because he started killing it, knocking out $70,000 a month for himself by honoring his craft, counting on his craft. That's why. So I want you guys to understand. If you guys haven't reached out to my guy Jaime, he's a boss out in Texas. Make sure you connect with him. But what he heard from the closing Olympics I used, hey, Mr. Seller, I'm following up on the property we talked about a couple months ago. You didn't sell that one on me, did you? That's just a good rapport building. You're like, oh man, you ain't cheating on me, are you? It's one of those it's a chuckle, a good feel, allows you to ease in the conversation, find out about what's going on with the deal, and keep it lighthearted where you're able to kind of navigate around the conversation. So we want to appreciate you guys. Salute. Appreciate that.
Crystal said Latina power.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Who's that girl? La 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 la. I'm sorry guys. We're back. And so I want to be able to help you guys show how I'm able to take some of my rapport building. But these are the tips, these focus points we give you. Feel, felt, found, empathize with them. Absorb, recognize, continue. These are how I'm able to weave personal and business back and forth where I got the seller off guarded. I'm lowering the guards. At the same time, I'm moving them down the street with us. So I want to make sure you guys have these skill sets. I want to take that internal issue that you have that I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I want to remove that doubt. And if we're able to share these ideas, these tips, these strategies, these techniques to help you improve your skill set, then I'm serving my purpose, And like I said, I appreciate that. Yeah. So it's very few power couples out here. That's going to give you tremendous value. Sometimes you got the guy's really good, the girl's just being cute, being quiet, or the girl's really good, and the guy's just like, hey, babe, I hold up signs. You're going to get tremendous value from both of us. And that's what we want you to see. Somebody with systems and strategy, and somebody with sales and relationship building abilities. When you combine these together and you just take one or two gems, you can start executing at a tremendous high level. And I want to make sure you guys really treat your skill set as a craft you could get better and better on. And that is going to pay you month after month, year after year, like no other business can.
Yeah, so before we leave, Retta said, any tips to build rapport when a seller is cut and dry? I think you have some very powerful
absolutely.
tips.
So if they're cut and dry, and you're going to get people, they're not going to want to build rapport. They're not going to want to say, just call it enough of the chit chat. Enough of the chit chat. What's your offer? You get those people, right? So when that happens, you got to exert some control. You got to show them that it's not your first rodeo. Sir, hold on 1 second. When you bought a car, did you want somebody rushing? Did you want the car salesman rushing you to buy a car? Well, then please don't rush me when I'm trying to buy your house. You see how I just shifted them? They sound like they're the car salesman selling me. See how I just shifted that on them? Sir, I'm going to ask you some questions. we're going to buy some properties in the state, but we just don't know if your property qualifies for our cash. So let's just take it easy. Let's not put the cart before the horse. Is that okay? Let's not put the cart before that. I'm saying what they're used to saying to me. I'm saying it to them. You're going to use those on the hard, cut and dry. What's your offer? I don't have time for this. Listen, your time is too valuable to waste any of mine with. You see how your mind just like, what did you say to me? Your time is too valuable to waste any of my time with. So you really just told him, just don't waste any of my damn time. But he said in very subtle mind conjunction, flipped it around in his mind. He's not able to use that. So use those techniques, use those tips.
And those are some techniques. However, there is a whole step to the sales. So when you're looking to build rapport in your opening side, obviously the first thing you want to do is make sure that your opening is
yeah, and a couple things you could do. Right. You want to get a couple micro yeses, right? Even if they're dry and bland and they're not trying to chuckle with you. So the street address is this, right? And Mr. John K. Smith, K's your middle name. You have a middle initial? Cool, great, all right, good. And has COVID affected you at all in any way? It has, okay. See, I'm getting yeses. These are universal yeses. We're going to get into that as well and a couple more focus points. But you're able to do that at the very beginning. You want to try to get between 3 to 8 micro yeses before you transition out.
Yeah, so micro yeses, qualifying when you're qualifying, part of that is also figuring out their personality type. So I know one thing that you always talk about is like, what did I catch you doing? Right there, based on how they answered, I'm not doing anything. What are you asking about? At that point, they're letting you know that they're more decisive, that they're more to the point. And at that point, you want to mirror them. So that's another tip. I mean, which is kind of what you were saying was, there's certain things you can say that make them feel like you're more like them. So when someone feels like you're wasting their time, you want to say, I don't want to, like, basically you want to give them that feel that, hey, I don't have time to waste either. When you are the way that they are, they're going to feel like they're building rapport with you.
Remember, everybody.
So, and one person who does this really well is RJ. I feel like if you could go and watch the Coast Olympics, RJ does a very good job at just meeting the seller where they're at and also being like, hey, I don't have time. I got to do this. Let's go.
I got a daddy-daughter date night today. So I got about 19 minutes, but I got to buy a house before I wrap up here. So what do you want me to send this contract to? Who said I'm even buying the property? What do you want me to send? We didn't even talk about numbers. You're talking about where do I send this contract to? That takes a little bit of confidence, but you can move people. And that's what the value of role-playing does for you. You could try techniques. You could try the elements, see what it sounds like. Have somebody be a hard seller on you. Try this material, try techniques, and you're honoring your craft. You're working on these techniques. That will open up doors for you. All right? So they take one more. If you guys want to give one more, we'll take one more before we wrap up here today. Mirror the customer. Jaime knows. I saw he has his hitter killing it right now. One of his top acquisition guys crushing it over there himself. So if anybody has any last objection you guys want us to discuss right now, write it in the comments. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. I want to make sure you guys just see this is something you can improve on. This is something just understand Kanye West before old Kanye, not new Kanye, old Kanye. All right, Kanye, he was banging out track after track in his mom's basement, track after track in his mom's basement, until he got so skilled. He knew his techniques, his beats had to be the best because he spent hours, months honoring his craft, working on his craft, pounding his craft. So by the time he dropped the track to Jay-Z, Jay-Z's like, this is undeniable. I got to have you on the team. That's the same thing with you guys. By you pounding on your craft, honor your role playing, honor your craft, working on your journals, doing your affirmations, it's going to allow you to take yourself to the next level. More deals, more sales, more confidence, and that's what's going to put you in play. Rich, please make sure, get my free ebook. Text Elijah to 59224. Fill out the survey. I got the audio boy for you guys, so you guys who do not like to read. Let's see what Jaime had for us here. Let's see. Red Seller, Real Estate Diddy. Totally understand that you want an offer, but I plan on giving you a large amount of money in a shorter period of time and need to know more about your home to get that done for you. That's fire.
That's
Yep,
such a
yeah,
good-
that's Diddy. That's Diddy all day.
For
But
sure.
I'm gonna give you a large amount of money in a short amount of time. Look how descriptive that is, and it gives you everything you want. I want a lot of money really quickly, but I need to ask you some questions first. So chill the hell out. That's a really great way. Diddy's nice too. Make sure you check out my guy, Real Estate Diddy. I mean, he's killing too.
Said, thank you. These 50 people on the side. God bless. See you tomorrow. Yes. Well,
appreciate y'all.
Hey, it doesn't matter if it's 15 or
15 million.
15,000.
I don't care. We're out here serving. We're serving our purpose.
This is what it's about, you guys. So let's again. But if you guys do know someone that would receive value from this, please share. Please share in your networks, on your groups. And in the meantime, we're going to be working on something special for you tomorrow. So make sure you join us. Again, we're taking your guys' feedback. Send us a message if you think there's something else we can do to add value in these live. But we'll see you tomorrow for day 5.
So if you feel we gave you some good value, throw us some gems, or some either gems or fire emoji. Throw some gems or fire emoji. We gave you guys some value. We want to make sure we leave you guys better than how we met you every day, every way, add value to others, and that's what our specific focus is doing. So thank you, Jaime. I appreciate you guys all. Like I said, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. AZ time PST. Please share this with other people. Let people know that this is what we're doing. Make sure you get your ebook, get the audiobook. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate you, King. Like I said, this is what it's about. Real people really connecting and adding real value to each other. All right, Val, appreciate you, family. Robert, same to you, y'all. And as we like to say, each one teach one, each one reach one. Go out your way today and be a blessing to someone, y'all. Salute. Bye.